doing? Welcome back to our brand new series, I Love the Bible. That is right, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be looking at the Bible, looking at what it is, why it's so important, why we need it in our life, and also we're going to be learning how to read it and how to get the most out of it. But first off, before we get into everything that I want to talk about today, I thought we could play a little bit of a true and false game. So what's going to happen is I'm going to tell you a statement. It may be true, it may be false about the Bible. If you think it's true, I want you to stand up. If you think it's false, I want you to stay sitting down. So don't move until I say go. Are you ready? So our first statement in our true and false round is this. The first book of the Bible is Matthew. If you think it's true, stand up. If you think it's false, say sitting down. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, okay. If you are stood up, you are wrong. It is false. The first book of the Bible is Genesis. Okay, everyone sit back down, sit back down. The second one is this. The Bible is split into two parts, the Old and the New. If you think that's true, then stand up. If you think it's false, stay sitting down. 3, 2, 1, go. Stop. Your answers are locked in. If you are stood up, then you are right, it is true. The Bible is one book split into two parts. You have the Old and you have the New. The Old is all about life before Jesus, and the New is all about life after, well, life with Jesus and after Jesus. Amazing, sit back down. Statement number 3 is this. The Bible is just full of lies and is all made up. If you think that's true, then stand up. If you think it's false, then stay sat down. 3, 2, 1, go. If you are stood up, then you are wrong. The Bible, no, I got it wrong. If you are stood up, you are, yes, if you're stood up, it's wrong because the Bible is true, it is false. I said that it was all lies and that is false. The Bible is true, it is real, it is relevant, and it is all about God and his life. It is not lies. The fourth one, are you ready? In the Bible, there is a story about a talking donkey. If you think that's true, then stand up. If you think it's false, then stay sitting down. 3, 2, 1, go. If you are stood up and you say it's true, then you're right. There is a story in the Bible about a talking donkey. Isn't that insane? Anyway, okay, everybody find your seats. Sit down, get yourself cozy, get yourself ready because we are going to move on. So hands up, who has a Bible? Now, sometimes I think we can look at the Bible and think, well, it's just full of lots of words and lots of information and really it's nothing for me and it's not relevant for my life. But it totally is. You see, the Bible is one book in two parts, and in the two parts there is 66 books. But in the Bible there are stories about love, about friendship, about hate, about family, about war, about battles, about cooking your food in poo. Yeah, cooking your food in poo. There are stories about talking donkeys. There's a story about a man who lied on his side for a whole year and didn't move. There is weird stories, gross stories, fun stories, sad stories. There are so many different stories for your life. Oh, sorry, did you hear that? Sorry, I'm just really hungry. Oh, did you hear that again? I'm really hungry. I know this is a bit weird. And I wouldn't do this with anybody else, only just, you know, Hero Factory because you guys don't mind. But I just wondered if you'd mind if I had my lunch because, oh, did you? Oh, I'm so hungry. Oh gosh, I need to have some food. Is that all right? I've got my packed lunch here. So yeah, should I share with you what I've got to eat today? So I've got myself some of my favourite biscuits. Love these biscuits. I've got myself some water because it's important to stay hydrated. Got myself an apple because they're healthy, and then I've got myself some bread for some sandwiches because let me tell you, I love bread. Like, I am obsessed with bread. I could eat all of these. Well, actually, I think I am going to eat all of these because I love bread. I love bread when it's in the toaster. I love chocolate spread on toast. I love bread when it's warm and the butter's on the top and it's melted. I love bread, dipping it in my soup. I love making sandwiches. I love making toasties. Oh, I just love just eating bread. Like, my favorite thing at the moment is to put bread in the toaster and put Biscoff spread on it. Oh, it is delicious. I love bread so much. And honestly, I think I could eat bread for every single meal. Every single meal that you could ever imagine, I could totally eat bread for. But people keep telling me that you can't just eat bread. That actually you've kind of got to have other stuff in your diet to help you. You've got to have water to keep you hydrated, you know, fruit because that's going to make you strong. And as much as I'd love to eat bread for the rest of my life, I don't think I can. I don't think I can. And here's the thing, when we have our food, we need our food. The food fuels our body, doesn't it? When we have food, it makes us strong. It gives us energy. It helps us to focus. I don't know about you, but have you ever not had food? You've just been so hungry and then you get angry and then you get annoyed and your belly's rumbling. When we have food, it gives us energy and gives us everything that we need. And food is such an important thing in our life. It's such an important thing in our life. But how about if I told you that there's another important meal that we need to have? Now, I'm not talking about breakfast. I'm not talking about dinner. I'm not talking about lunch. I'm not talking about snacks. I'm not talking about supper. But there is another important meal that we need in our life, and that is the Word of God. In the Bible, it says this. In Matthew 4 verse 4 it says, Jesus answered them, "It is written, man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." You see, as much as we need food to fuel us, we also need the Word of God. Now, I'm not saying that we need to eat the Bible, because that is not what we're going to do, because let's be honest, that would be gross and that would be weird. We're not going to eat the Word of God. But just like food fuels our body, we need the Word of God, because in it is everything that we need to live our life. When we read the Bible, when we obey it, when we put it into action in our life, it is like food to our soul. Just like when we eat bread and we eat apple, it makes us strong and it makes us healthy. When we read the Word of God, it builds us up, it encourages us, it makes us strong, and it gives us everything that we need to do all that we need to do. So when we read that Bible verse that says man doesn't live on bread alone, although I would really like to live on bread alone, when it says that we don't live on bread alone, what it means is that actually there is more in our life that we need as well. We need the food to fuel our bodies, but we also need the Bible to fuel us in our relationship with God. So it's a bit like adding an extra meal to our day. We have our breakfast, we have our lunch, we have our dinner, we have our snacks, and we have our supper. Now the new meal that we need to add is the Bible, because the Bible is filled with so many important things that we need to help us in our everyday life. Food fuels our body, but when we have the Bible, when we read it, when we put it into action, when we live out what God is telling us to do, it fuels us in our relationship with Him. So what now? Do you have a Bible? Do you have one at home? Maybe you can find it out and start to read it. Maybe every night before bed you could read a story in it with your mum and dad or whoever you live with. Maybe you need to find that Bible and find a time every day to start reading it. Just like you eat all your meals, we also need to read our Bible.